Welcome to the video. This video will be the first in a series about Dark Souls 3 and its various systems. Now we're going to begin with the system that affects players the most, the combat system. Dark Souls 3 has fundamentally an animation-driven combat system. What this means is that gameplay trigger volumes are attached to components of the character, such as the hands, feet or weapon that they may hold. These components are moved by animations that are played on the character. Let's imagine that a character swings a sword. That sword has attached gameplay trigger volumes which intersect another valid trigger object. Then the sword would signal a gameplay event, such as, for instance, damage or block. On the flip side, a more traditional approach would be to instead spawn gameplay trigger volumes at predefined locations, such as in and around the character or wherever we may clicked. Now, while this approach is cheaper to implement, it however has its own shortcomings. One of the key benefits of an animation-driven combat system is the level of gameplay fidelity that is achieved by gameplay trigger volumes being where the player actually expects them. That is, if a character is visually hit with an attack, then they will take damage. However, if the character dodges the attack, then they will avoid damage. Now, if gameplay trigger volumes did not accurately match the object that was delivering them, then the combat would feel unresponsive and unfair to the player, and in a game where combat is a core feature, that is simply unacceptable. Therefore, the value of this type of combat system is heavily based on the game's genre. In short, some games need it, others don't. Another benefit to this style of combat system is in creating different gameplay roles for weapons through their animation sets, rather than only through mathematical formulas or game rules. While it is possible to simulate this effect in other ways, these will always lack the fidelity of an animation-driven combat system. Let's say we want to create different gameplay roles for the sword and spear in an animation-driven combat system. We can make the sword fast, moderate damage, short range, while the spear moderate speed, average damage but superior range by designing their animation and properties. Therefore, each of these weapons would have designed strengths and weaknesses, and because of those, counterplay. Now, the quality of this type of combat system is very much dependent on the weapon matrix that the development team designs and implements. This weapon matrix is the high-level design that defines how the different weapons interact with each other and other parts of the combat system. However, this type of combat system is also not without its shortcomings. Animations take time to make, and if a single weapon has many animations, then its implementation cost is of course multiplied. Now, the biggest danger here is that weapon animations would have to be remade to better match the designed role of the weapon. This is why this type of combat system requires extensive planning and preparation from the development team. It requires designs to be made in advance of work being truly started on. By its very nature, it encourages a waterfall design model, which is expensive to change down the road. Never mind the programming and design headache of implementing and balancing such a combat system. Because of these reasons, I value the combat system in Dark Souls 3 very highly. It is difficult to design, very difficult to implement, but extremely rewarding to play. Let's conclude on that, and I'll see you in the next video.